For now, let's do some politics here. And former Deputy Communication Minister Felix Kwakye-Ofosu says those declaring their intentions for the 2020 Flagbearership of the opposition NDC are acting prematurely. Ecos Gabra, Alban Bagbin and Professor Joshua Alabi have publicly declared their intentions to be presidential candidates of the party. The outspoken former deputy minister, who has also been described as baby with sharp teeth by a former founder of the NDC, John Rawlings, however, says he'll support former President John Mahama should he decide to contest for the 2020 Flagbearership of the party. He's been my special guest today.
We need to take collective responsibility for the loss.
But you are in charge of communication directly.
Well, like I said, if there were any shortcomings in the communication area, why not? There's no difficulty on my part at all.
Think there wasn't?
No, I didn't say there wasn't. But like I'm telling you, it is always better to use internal mechanisms to address these things
so
rather than yeah. But the discussions are going on. We have opportunity to interface regularly. So we peer review. We criticize each other's performance over the year. In any event, it's been a year since we lost elections. I'm not sure that it is still time, or better still, it is still appropriate 1 year down the line to be engaged in that kind of fault finding. I would like to believe that it is the way forward that should dominate our discussions internally as a party. Of course, we must draw on the lessons of yesterday to inform the strategies that will evolve in the present, and that will determine what our fortunes will be in the future. I think that discussion is ongoing.
On her
and
side,
nobody
what
has
would
been.
You have done differently?
Oh, I think that in terms of government policies and what have you, look, some of the policies were difficult, but they were necessary. And I keep on referring you to the current situation. For instance, when we decided to go to the IMF, I mean, you saw you heard the uproar that greeted that decision. But has a government that at the time was in opposition and strenuously opposed it done anything different from what we have done? No. We were accused of borrowing a lot, right? Even at a time when we could point to massive infrastructure to justify that borrowing, there were those in our system who claimed that they could not see what we had done. This government has borrowed 30 billion Ghana cedis in 11 months. And I can challenge you that they will not be able to point you to one infrastructure project that money has gone into, not one.
We'll come to your assessment.
Yes, but you see, so in terms of government policy, there were some of the decisions that were difficult, but they were necessary. And on hindsight, we've been vindicated. Yes.
But unfounded, what you're calling unfounded allegations, that's one of the areas where they said that your communication strategy was quite.
No, we did. You see, and here let me do a criticism of the media. I think that on that score, we take our fair share of the blame. But on that score, I think that you should do more to shield the citizens of this country from misinformation and deliberate distortion of facts. Look, the fact that you people did not check Dr. Bawumia's claims about the debt that we owed was a grave travesty. Here was a man who went around claiming that we had borrowed $35 billion in 8 years, at a time when our entire national debt didn't come anywhere close to that figure. It was an economic absurdity. It was a mathematical impossibility, and yet you allowed it to pass. Despite our best efforts to push it back, you wouldn't independently verify. So that of course, but we constantly, absolutely, we did that. Whenever we did that, you said, oh, Dr. Bawumia was an economist, he was credible. But independently, you never attempted to verify that from the various sources that you could have obtained information from. Again, corruption allegations. All that needed to happen was for President Mahama's name to be mentioned, and you will all jump onto it without verification. And just, for instance, this allegation about the look. There were many. I can give you many off the top of my head, and I'll do. Look, Dr. What do you call it? Nana Akufo-Addo at the Aliu Mahama lectures claimed that the Kaswa interchange project had been inflated, and indeed the inflation of projects became their sing song. It was one of the ways that they felt they could undermine whatever political capital we could derive as a party from the investments that we had made in infrastructure. On that score, let me give you credit, really. I mean, Joy FM at least spoke to then minority ranking member on Roads and Transport, Honorable Ejiomi, who quickly corrected that misinformation. He then went on to the Rage Hospital project and claimed that it had been inflated by $142 million, which was a complete falsehood, because the facts as were available showed clearly that that didn't happen. Interestingly, since they've been in power, in May this year, the health minister, Mr. Ajimamenu, put a plaque on that hospital and purported to commission it. Now, I want to ask why the MPP would allow their finance minister, sorry, their health minister, to put his name on a project that they claim was a product of corruption. It was a complete falsehood. Another one was his claim.
The fact that the minister commissioned.
Yes, but you see what you do,
necessarily remove.
No, look.
Any issues about value for money.
No, but I'm saying that there was no issue with value for money. It was a complete falsehood. First, because they didn't even provide any evidence to back it in the first place. And the records are still available, show that nothing of the sort happened. But it was repeated many times. Another one was a claim that we had procured diaries for 10 million. Yes.
That's the final one.
Exactly. Another one was the claim that we had procured diaries for $10 million. I mean, it was an outrageous falsehood peddled by Nana Akufo-Addo at the time.
Did you procure diaries?
Well, of course we did. The same way.
How much
you see, the same way that they procured 2017 diaries.
How much?
So they know. Well, I was not directly involved in the program. I don't know, but it comes absolutely. What happens actually? Is what happens actually?
Because we're talking about these what you're calling unfounded allegations.
Yeah, but they were unfounded. Yes, you see, we countered it with information. The person in charge. The person in charge at the time, I think Dr. Apak, spoke to the issue, and he showed how monies are raised for it. He told you, look, first of all,
because
yes,
you're blaming the media first of all, the media for not shielding.
Absolutely. First of all, you should have.
But information depends on.
You see, again, first of all, you demand from the one alleging proof of the claim. That didn't happen. He was never put on the spot.
And then you come to
yes, the person
who's been accused.
Absolutely, but your first rule is to squeeze information out of the alleger. Absolutely. But let me. I'm criticizing that rule. I think that you were lax, especially when it came to the New Patriotic Party's leadership. I think so. I think that going forward, you need to do more. You see, do same to us whilst we are in opposition. When we make allegations, demand of us proof so that it enriches the debate.
Demanding that information or seeking their side of
that is fine. But you see, there's no shortage.
The onus lies on you.
You see, there's no shortage. There's no shortage of information about it. What happens is that often.
Now you're not able to tell.
I'm telling you, I'm coming. Like I told you, I do not have. I beg your pardon. You see, I can tell you as a matter of fact, because indeed that allegation itself is illogical. With the greatest respect to the person who made it. It is not possible to print a few hundreds of diaries for 10 million Ghana cedis, especially if you look at the yes, I'm coming. If you look at the quality of the diary. So that is the first red flag that should be raised. The second point is that if you look at the process that is used, it has not been different from what we came to inherit and what they are using currently. It is primarily sponsored by persons who want to advertise in the diary. And that has all, yes, but I'm saying that, well, it is information. I don't have it. It is information you can obtain from the present government, the chief of staff.
You are in charge of communication, but
well, I'm not, listen, I'm not in charge. You see, I'm not in charge of the communication system now. But it is curious.
You were then.
I beg your pardon. Yes, I was then. But now, the people who made the allegation are in a position to tell you exactly how much it cost. Yes, but I'm saying that.
I have you here with me.
Yes, but you have access to the president. You have a correspondent at the Flagstaff House. The point, you see, the point I'm making is that we all should do more to stem the tide of unfounded accusations against individuals and against government, because it has the unintended effect of misinforming the voter, and sometimes wrong choices can be made on the basis of that. Yes.
Let's look at the reorganization that's going on at the moment within the party. What's happening?
Well, I think, like I told you before, the Kwakye-Ofosu committee report was a major watershed because it offered a scientific basis to collate accurate information about what our party members and supporters believe may have been some of our weaknesses going into the elections. That report has been presented and the recommendations have begun to be implemented. The healing tour that was embarked on by the Council of Elders was a direct response to some of the issues that were raised. I'm aware of other engagements and interactions and discussions and consultations that are taking place within the party at various levels. Currently, preparations are underway for us to begin the compilation of a new register. And we'll do that at the branch level upwards. And it should start in a matter of weeks. That will give us a basis upon which we can then have information about our membership and how to engage them in ways that become beneficial for us going forward. Following from that, there are a number of elections that would take place at branch, at constituency, at regional, and at the national level. Okay. So that then gives us the sort of impetus to go into the activities in the run-up to the 2020 elections and present a credible program to the Ghanaian people, which I believe would inform a decision to return us to power. In the meantime, too, we have a role as an opposition party, especially through our minority in parliament, to hold the feet of this government to the fire of accountability. And I believe that our minority group is doing a sterling job
Let us say a bit more on the party. Sure. Let me find out from you. There are concerns about the implementation of the Kwakye-Ofosu report. In terms of reorganizing the party, people have raised concerns about the unity walk, for example. They say that that's not even the name for it. And there are concerns that the unity walk is being conducted in a way that gives former President John Mahama an undue advantage over other persons who are interested in being flag bearer of the party.
First of all, I'm not sure that the leadership of the NDC has announced any flag-bearership race.
No, they haven't.
So that's the first point.
Will be pretending.
No, you see, we are not. You see, we need to put the issues. You see, we need to put the issues in proper perspective. There's no flag-bearership race as far as I'm aware of. Sometime in 2018, our constitution says we should elect a flag bearer 2 years to elections when we are in opposition. So I'm sure sometime in 2018 the contest will start. Then people can formally hold themselves out.
You haven't heard that.
Well, you see, I prefer to deal with systems and structures. Like I said, I'm a stickler for discipline, party discipline. So for that reason, I prefer to stick with the line of the party in these things. The party has not opened any flag bearership contest. President Mahama has even not declared any intention to contest, as far as I'm aware. But you see,
I can tell you those who have declared their intention.
Well, of course, I'm not oblivious. Look, I'm not oblivious to that. But the point is that we cannot begin to. Are you saying
that what they're doing amounts to indiscipline?
No, you see, I believe that it is a bit premature at this stage to have that kind of discussion. It is the organization of the party that is paramount at this stage. All efforts should be put into helping the party organize at various levels. Now, it does not mean that whilst that reorganization is going on, we cannot engage in some activity to whip up enthusiasm among our rank and file. So if a party activity is hosted by constituency executives or regional executives and leading figures of the party participate in it, I don't think that it in any way detracts from the party's forward march or it undermines anybody's prospective candidacy, for which reason there should be any uproar. I would rather like to believe that those who initiated these works should be commended because they have provided an avenue for us to whip up enthusiasm amongst our members, and that is very, very key in political party mobilization.
They have indicated their interest to be flag bearers of the party, feel like they're contributing to the party, they're contributing to the reorganization. And when you go on this unity tour, you don't give them...
First of all, I'm not sure that the unity works constitute a platform for persons to advertise themselves. When President Mahama is given the opportunity, it is because he is the most preeminent person in the party as we speak. He is immediate past ex-president. That cannot be taken away from him. So if he is given opportunity to speak because he is the most prominent figure available, I don't think that it detracts from any other person's prospective candidacy. And it should not raise any eyebrows in mind. You see,
what about 10 regional chairmen coming together to...
Well, again, the point is that there are 10 regional chairmen. Indeed, if you recall, President Mahama himself came out swiftly to indicate that he does not believe that that is the way to go at the moment, and that efforts should rather be channeled into reorganizing the party at various levels. So there's no dispute about where former President Mahama stands on that particular matter.
You're within his circles, former President Mahama's circles. I mean, he's worked with you quite closely.
That is true.
Do you think he wants to be president?
Well, he has not made any formal announcement. He's had opportunity to speak to the matter. Indeed, in the present case of the 10 regional chairmen, he put out an official statement. At the moment, he is former president of the Republic of Ghana. And so he has some responsibility. He's engaged in a number of international assignments, which are helping bring stability to a number of countries. He's been involved in electioneering processes in some particular countries. He's been actively involved in party activity, which is necessary. And all party members are enjoined to do that so that the reorganization effort will be meaningful. He has not stated an intention to contest for the elections.
But we've heard that there's pressure on him to contest. Are you one of those who would give him that kind of pressure to contest?
Well, the point is that it is within the rights of individuals to have their opinion on who they believe is best suited to lead the party.
Who do you believe is best?
Oh, I think that, to be honest with you, I'm a great admirer of President Mahama. I think that he didn't have opportunity to complete what I believe was a transformational agenda for the country. So any day that he decides to throw his hat into the race with a view to ensuring that that passion that he has for the development of this country comes to fruition. I will not have any hesitation to throw my weight behind him, yes.
What do you make of those who say that let's keep him as a state figure, a national figure, where we don't, you don't get involved in politics and partisan politics anymore?
Is that to suggest that, for instance, the current president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, is not a national figure or a state figure? He is. But the point is that...
Yeah, but he has to, former President Mahama, for example, will have to now go down to the politics, go to
Well, the president of this republic...
Partisan politics.
Well, the president of the republic currently only recently returned from a partisan event in Kumasi. I don't think that it undermined his status in any way as a president. You see, if President Mahama believes that he still has something to offer, and I believe he has a lot to offer, if he has a program that will lead to the forward march of this country, I don't think he should be precluded merely because he is former president. The Constitution allows him the opportunity to contest again, and to the extent that he will be acting within the framework of our national constitution, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Felix Kwakye-Ofosu there, my special guest for today. We'll have a fuller version of that interview we'll be playing here on the channel. But away from that politics, the tension brought on by the 2016 general election around this time, according to some families here in Accra, prevented them from celebrating Christmas as they had planned. Now, the euphoria picking up in town about the festive season and the relaxed atmosphere within which people are planning for the big day gives them assurance for a tense-free festivity. JoyNews' Frank Ado has been speaking to the Amponsa family and reports that they are feverishly preparing to have a memorable Yuletide this year.
The Amponsa family lives at a Denta in Accra. There's a family of 5 members. Michael Amponsa is the head of the family. He is a pastor. Mike Amponsa Jr., Iram Amponsa and Mark Amponsa are the only children in the family. They are all students. Their mother, Mary Amponsa, is a secretary. In 2016, around the same time, this family tells me they could not gather to sing or implement their plans for Christmas due to the tension that came along with the election.
Well, last year was an election year, and it wasn't easy. You see, with the fear of maybe conflicts and so forth and so on. But God, by His grace, took us through, and today we are alive and we are yet to celebrate another Christmas.
This year seems different since there's no election and there's no fear of violence, a situation the Aponsens tell me is very relieving to enable them celebrate the Yuletide. The family have been telling more about their plans for this year's celebration.
It's been normal, just that last year was an election year, as Daddy said, but this year we don't have election, so everything is moving all right. And Christmas is about giving out, celebrating with families here and there, and that's what we are preparing to do.
What I'm seeing forward to this Christmas, okay, is organizing church programs that talks more about Christmas, because Christmas is always like going to the beach, going here to celebrate with friends, going for picnic and things.
Before Christmas, sometimes we go to the mall, we go to the beach and stuff. But I remember when we were young, we used to like game, we played game a lot. But now, since we are grown, we don't have time to play those things. So we just decided that this Christmas, we are not going to go out, no malls, no beaches. We just wanted to use this opportunity to, to play game and then just have fun, home stuff.
Like many other families preparing for Christmas in 2017, the fear of traffic jam in town is a big deal during these times.
So I think, the traffic will affect the celebration a bit, just a bit.
You have to get everything before the time for Christmas. You make sure when it's time for Christmas, at least you go through all the traffic and whatever to get your things, so celebrating it will be easier.
The Amponsers therefore hope to do all they need to do before it is too late for them to have the fun they want on Christmas Day. Frank Ados reports for JoyNews.
And still on Christmas, some traders have asked government to make funds available for the early completion of the whole market to enable them have some level of comfort and security at the market. According to the traders, a few days to Christmas, but nothing has changed as people are not buying their goods due to the state of the market. This was revealed during an interview with JoyNews at the whole market.
To me, Christmas hasn't changed for some decade now. It has always been the same. Nothing new and nothing old has changed. It used to be the days when we rely mostly on our parents and our maybe uncles and some well-wishers who may dash you one or two things. Now, I'm an independent candidate, if you should ask me. I don't rely on anybody. I rely on the little resources that I have, for which I spend with my family. I mean, talk of my nuclear family, and then to think of extended family where I have to send a little to one or two people here and there. Times are hard. It's not easy to come by money. So the little we have, we are managing it. So to me, Christmas, if not for the weather that has changed, if you ask me, nothing much has changed about Christmas.
For first time, they used to buy things, then you know that they are celebrating Christmas. But this time, nothing is not going on. We are just sitting down. There is no money in the system. Sitting down, we are waiting for the Christmas days to come so that we know that they are celebrating.
How do you use to celebrate the Christmas?
Like, if they are buying, then you know that they are celebrating Christmas. But this time they are not buying anything, so we don't know that they are celebrating.
In our tribe, when it is time for Christmas, all citizens outside the community comes back home for us to celebrate it together. Families gather to plan for next year. They also gather to discuss and plan towards the development of the community.
We are celebrating Christmas, all right, but there's no money in the system and patronage of goods is very low. Customers have to buy from us so that we can also get money to take care of our parents and other people that look up to us. I have been here since morning till afternoon, but I haven't made any sale.
Now, some residents are also of the view that Christmas is no more as exciting as it used to be. Organizers of the 2017 Joy FM Family Party in the Park are promising families a great time of bonding at the Legon Botanical Gardens as they celebrate the Christmas festivities. This year's edition comes off on Saturday, December 23, and it will once again serve as a perfect opportunity for parents to spend quality time with their kids. Management of the National Theatre of Ghana has announced the procurement of new air conditioners and the introduction of an electronic ticketing system ahead of its 25th anniversary celebrations. The e-tickets will help check duplication of tickets for events. Built in 1992, the National Theatre has served as a center for many social, religious and political gatherings.
The event will enable families renew and foster close family ties and also provide a perfect platform to make new friends. The annual Party in the Park event organized by Joy FM brings together families across the length and breadth of the capital for a healthy dose of family fun, good music, food and wide variety of games and activities. On the day, families will take several exciting activities including sharp brain contest, musical chair, cooking challenge, treasure hunt, salsa dance competition, water run, I know my word, I know my parents, and a host of other fun competitions. The serene atmosphere at the Legon Botanical Gardens and its canopy of trees will provide enough motivation for families to come together to eat, drink, and chat heartily.
So make your way on the 23rd of this month to the Legon Botanical Gardens. There will be nannies to take care of your kids. So if you also want to have a, romantic sort of bonding with your husband, it's a perfect time to come. The kids play, you have fun, and everybody is happy. That's it. It's Christmas. Enjoy it. Right now, it's time for Sport on the Pulse. Please stay.